Hey everyone, I'm Marcus Grimm with Medtrics, and wow, this is going to be a fun one. You know, lots of times we're talking about product features or we're talking to Tosh about the vision for the company and everything that's happening with AI. This is one, though, that we're going to take you behind the scenes and we're going to interview one of our employees, but this is a really, really unique one. Many of you know Medtrics is a startup company, but you know, at what point do you stop calling yourself a startup? At this point, we've got 25 employees, and what's really key to today's story is that those 25 people are scattered all across the globe. However, I already misspoke. They're not really scattered. We tend to find that we've got pockets of them. And in fact, we have a handful of employees that have been helping Medtrics clients out from the Philippines for quite a few years. And today I'm joined by Ericson Fernandez. He's an easy one for me to get on the show because all I have to do is say, Ericson, let's get you on this. Ericson and I work very, very closely. He's a designer on the team. If you've seen the case studies we do, he lays out a bunch of them. If you've seen video work, interactive design, Ericson is one of the wonderful people behind that. And we're going to be talking to Ericson a little bit today about his role, but more importantly, Ericson and the other members of the Filipinos team got together and they actually met each other in person for the first time. For a lot of us, especially the international employees, they don't get to interact in person. And oh my goodness, they had a wonderful visit. Ericson, my friend, how are you doing today?
Hello, Marcus. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this one, buddy. I'm waiting to hear everything that you folks did when you got together. I've already introduced your name and told people you're a designer on the team. As I often joke with you, I am often geographically challenged. You know, when you talk about the Philippines, where exactly are you based?
So I'm based in Batangas City, Philippines. It's part of the Luzon. So the Philippines has 3 major islands. It's the Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. I'm in Luzon.
Wonderful. I've been with the Medtrics team now about 3 years, and I'm trying to recall, I think you came on right after me, right? Am I thinking that correctly? Are we working on 3 years for you? How long has it been?
Almost 3 years. So I started working with Medtrics since April 2023.
You all got together a few weeks ago.
It was me, Mark, Leigh, and Daren.
So let's go through those names. Mark Gideon is a customer success manager. Anyone that's taken a quarterly success call, they've been fortunate enough to spend that with Mark. Leigh is one of those guys who creates a ton of stuff for Medtrics, but he works behind the scene. I like to say he owns the knowledge base. If you've ever been inside our knowledge base, there's literally hundreds of articles, YouTube videos about how do I do this in Medtrics, how do I do that in Medtrics, and Leigh is front and center of all that. You also mentioned who?
Daren, the newest Philippine team member.
He's only been with us, about 6 months?
Yes, I think so.
He's a member of the development team, so those developers are working hard, working on the product. I should put a little side note in here. We're going to talk about you four in a minute, but we actually also have another employee, Clara, who's on the marketing team with us. And she's based out of Brazil, but she's currently studying in Japan. And it was almost close enough. She was a little tempted, right?
Yes.
I've heard about this being in the works for a while. Do you recall how this conversation started? How the four of you said, hey, you know what? Let's figure out how to get together and do this?
Yes, actually, we've been planning for this for quite some time. And since Mark and Leigh had already met last year in Baguio City, it's the hometown of Mark. We thought it was the perfect time for all of us to finally get together.
Talk to us about the geography of the Philippines. Are you all just 20 minutes from one another? How did you get in the same place? What did that look like?
Well, actually, we live pretty far from each other. We took an effort to plan this trip because, for example, Mark, he was 225 miles away. It's like 6-hour drive from my place. And Leigh is even further because he lives around 560 kilometers away from another island. It's in the Visayas part, the middle part of the Philippines. So we need to ride a plane to get there.
Did you all arrive at the same time? Who was there first? What was that like?
I arrived first in the airport, and then Mark spotted me while I was waiting there. He came over all smiles, and I just reintroduced myself. Before we knew it, we were deep in conversation. It was just 30 minutes before the flight, and we literally talked everything under the sun already. And then, yeah, it's fun.
Where did you meet, and who was that closest to?
Iloilo. It was Leigh's place. He was studying law there. So we decided to go to Iloilo first since he needs to go to school That's the deciding factor.
He had the busiest schedule, and so you all said, we'll come to you.
And then when we arrived in Iloilo, our first stop will be meeting Leigh at this unique restaurant called the Aquarium. And let me tell you, it wasn't just about the food. We were literally dining with an audience of fishes, turtles, birds, a lion, and even snakes. So it's quite an introduction to Iloilo, honestly. There, I met Leigh for the first time, and he was wearing his law school jacket. Kinda cool kid because of the jacket. And we get along already, and we ate seafood right away and just shared the journey going to Iloilo.
This restaurant sounds amazing. Did Leigh pick it?
Yes, he recommended it. He booked the place for the brunch. It's kind of scary because there is just a glass away from the lion.
Anytime you see somebody in person for the first time, there's always that awkward moment. But here we're talking about, these are people you're on phone calls with every day. You and I have a call with all of them here in an hour. So a little bit different, right? I'm guessing there was an immediate reaction, but then very quickly you're like, oh yeah, this is the same person that I talk to every day. Well, is that fair, or what was it like for you?
All I can say is Mark, Leigh, and Daren have the same energy on Slack and in real life, but much better. No awkward moment at all. It's like we've already known each other for so long. You know, meeting your friend from across the globe or away from you, it's that feeling that finally I can talk to you in person.
How long were you there? What did y'all do together?
We stayed in Iloilo for 3 days. For our first day, we explored the Iloilo city. And we went to museums, old mansions, because in Iloilo, it's famous for their old mansions. We explored their business district and all of that. On our next day, our plan is to go to Guimaras. So Guimaras is on another island. They are famous for their sweetest mangoes. So we tried their mango pizza and it was so delicious. I hope you can try it too. So in Guimaras, we did island hopping. We went swimming. In the evening, we relaxed with a few drinks. And I discovered that Mark has a big interest in board games. He bought some with him and we had a blast playing together. He brought, I think, 3 board games and we played all night and it was really, really fun.
That's really interesting that it didn't take you guys long to get comfortable with one another at all.
Yes, no effort at all.
Busy couple days. Had Leigh pre-planned all that? Did he just say, hey, listen, you're here. Here's 7 different things we could do? It sounds like a well-planned vacation.
It was. Since Leigh is living in that place, it's like he hosted this trip. So he planned the itinerary for us. So it's easier for us to travel and enjoy the weekend.
Let's not miss the t-shirt. Talk to me about the t-shirt.
Okay, so for the t-shirt, Mark and Leigh, actually all of us wanted to have a Medtrics t-shirt because, you know, we don't have a uniform and the US team, you guys are already meeting and you are wearing some awesome shirts that the creative team is already doing.
Right.
So I designed some t-shirt for us. So here's a sample.
I love it.
Thank you. It says miles apart, impact together. This is design 1. And design 2 is, I forgot what I wrote. Maybe flash it in the screen.
You didn't miss out on an opportunity to get some swag for the event, is what you're telling us, right?
Yes.
Excellent. You're coming off of this trip with the other 3 gentlemen. Would you do it again?
Yes, actually, after a week of our travel, we already been talking about the next trip. So we're sharing places that we want to go. So we are excited for that. So I'm looking forward, I think, next year.
Wonderful, wonderful. We can't wait to hear about that one. Last question I have for you today. What one word would you use to describe the Medtrics Filipino crew?
If I were to describe the Medtrics Philippines crew in one word, it would be solid. Even though we are miles away, each of us stands strong as an individual. We are reliable, adaptable, and committed to our work. We support the whole Medtrics team by bringing our own strengths, talents, knowledge, and passion, and staying consistent no matter what the challenges like time zones or different workloads. That dependability is what makes a solid part of Medtrics as a whole. And that's why the quote on our shirt says it's best. Miles away, impact together.
I love it. Folks, I got to tell you, this has been a fun one for me. Ericson and I are extremely close. We literally talk every day, but it's the first time I've been able to bludgeon him with these questions. And Ericson, I want to thank you for participating. And thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you, Marcus. I enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Well, folks, keep paying attention to what's happening at MedtricsLab.com. And if Ericson does his job, which he always does, you'll see this video on YouTube soon as well. For everyone at Medtrics, I'm Marcus Prim.
Subscribe.